Hey everyone, Cherie here. Today I'm continuing on with my 2018 December album. The last couple of days I did were days 16 and 17. All of those videos should be there in my December album playlist, so check those out if you haven't already. I do have a few larger photos to work with for the next few days, so I'll pop you on fast forward and get right into it. Alright, so this first page for day 18, all I'm going to do is add these gold numbers from Felicity Jane up in the top right hand corner and a little star. The journaling was printed directly onto this large photo, that envelope in the middle of the page. I used Photoshop to put the journaling onto that envelope. And I did see somebody else do this last year in their album. I can't quite remember who it was, but I loved the idea, so I did something very similar. Okay, so that's day 18 done. I'm moving on to day 19. Again, it's a nice large photo showing our rolls of wrapping paper that we had for last year. And these numbers, absolutely loving these. They're the American Crafts glittery red numbers, nice and big. So they're going just above that journaling strip there. And I'm just going to use my sewing machine to stitch along that journaling strip. And now those two pages can be added back to back together. So I'm just using double-sided tape. I'm not worrying about being right along the edge because I'm actually going to use my sewing machine to stitch a border around the very edge of these pages. So I'm almost there, just making sure they're nicely lined up, and I will just trim any excess off that I can see there. Alright, so it's looking pretty good. I'm going to just add these two red stars either side of that 19 number. So just the finishing touch on that one. Alright, so now I can punch the holes in the side of this, making sure I do punch them on the correct side. That would be bad if I did it on the wrong side. So you can see I just trimmed off the excess, and now I'm going to use my sewing machine just to stitch a border right around that outside edge. So that's day 18 and 19 complete. So moving on to day 20 now. Again, it's another large photo. I've got about 4 large photos in a row, which normally I wouldn't do, but it seemed to be what I needed for these particular days. So I've just added my journaling as a big strip along above that plate of peppermint bark. And for the number this day, I'm actually just spelling it out with those Felicity Jane alphabet stickers in red. And I have that cute little sticker from the Fa La La collection, which I've added to the side. I did decide that I wanted to stitch across the middle of that 20 words, so I've just removed that sticker, stitched, and then replaced it. So that's all I'm going to do for day 20. Day 21 was an interesting day for us. We had a huge storm come through and it blew down the big tree in our backyard and made an absolute mess. So that's what I'm documenting for day 21. All I'm going to do for the photo and the bottom of that tag that I've created, I'm just adding a strip of this diagonal stripe paper from the Holly kit from Felicity Jane for 2018. So I'm adding a strip across the top of the photo and across the bottom of that tag. So all I did was type out my journaling and then cut the cardstock into a tag shape, and I've left that gap on the left for the holes to be punched down that side. So I've just added some stitching to those 2 strips, and now I'm just going to add this wood veneer piece with the Felicity Jane puffy numbers on there. I think they're from the current Rebecca kit. Okay, so I've got this chipboard piece, which I think was an Ellie Edwards kit a couple of years ago, and just to carry through that wood veneer feel, I've got those little Felicity Jane wooden stars from, I can't remember if they were last year or the year before, but I just wanted a little touch of that wood on the right hand side of this spread. So that will do it for that one. Alright, so just deciding what I wanted to do next, and I think I'm going to add a stamp at the very bottom of the tag. Now these are from the Paislee Press 2018 kit, and the phrase says all is not calm, which totally suits this day with this massive storm that we had. So I'm just doing a little test stamp onto that strip of paper first, and I'm going to see what it looks like directly onto the tag. And I decided that I wanted a bit more texture. So I'm actually going to use that test stamp piece. I'm going to cut it out and stick it over the top, and that just adds an extra layer, and I'll be able to use my sewing machine to stitch that as well. So just adding another little layer to this tag. So just trimming it down a little bit. That can go directly over where I stamped onto the tag. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly add that little line of stitching across that stamped piece. Very quick and easy. And that's done. I just need to trim those threads off. And I need to do a backing on this tag. So I've got this piece of paper from Felicity Jane, just really simple with some lines on it. And I've decided just to add that cute little wreath from the Merry Days collection from crepe paper. So I had the idea that I was going to hang the wreath from the top of the page using that twine. So I did punch a little hole in the top of that sticker using a little hole punch, and I've got that twine there. I decided to go with a twine that had a gold fleck through it for something a little bit more special. But then I realised once I punched the hole in the top of that tag, it's not really going to work trying to secure that twine at the top. So I do end up changing my mind, and I found these cute little bow stickers in my stash. So I'm going to remove that twine and just stick that bow sticker right across where that hole is in the top of that wreath sticker. So I've just removed the foam tape just to reduce the bulk, because there was foam tape already attached to the back of that, and I've used some strong double-sided tape to attach that bow sticker. Okay, so the hole is punched at the top of the tags now, so I need to stick these two tag pieces back to back. So just using double-sided tape for that. A little bit of the backing didn't quite come off, so I need to pull that off. Okay, so make any little adjustments and trim off the edges, and I've now stitched around the edge of that tag. So I need to punch the holes in this, and then that one will be ready for going into the album. So that's the tag done. I just need to add that glitter ribbon at the top. I believe that glitter ribbon was from Kikki K, and I'm just going to tie that piece of twine around it in a little bow, and that'll just add a little bit more texture and interest to this tag. Alright, so the tag is done. I still need to adhere these two pages back to back. So I'm just going to use double-sided tape for that. And you'll see in my close-up photos at the end, I do end up using some of those Avery tabs on the sides of the photos just to give people something to grab onto so they don't have to touch the photo every time they're turning these pages. So you'll see those in the close-up photos very shortly. But first I need to put everything into the album and have one final look, and I'm really happy with how these ones have turned out. Nice and quick and easy. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing these ones today. I'll be back again soon with my next video for the next couple of days of this album, and let me know if you've got any questions down below, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.